Nintendo Switch Lite. I'll show you what's going on. So we have a very pretty issue apparently caused by a 4-year-old just jamming the port, or jamming the charger into the port. He did a really good job of peeling up just about every pin on that side. So we need to disassemble, we need to remove the port, and then we need to do some testing and make sure there was no collateral damage. So we can't do any of that before we remove the port. So we'll get on that, and we'll be back once I'm ready to remove the port. Okay, we have it out of the board now. Switch over to microscope, and we will prep the port for removal. See if I can get you focused in well. That's acceptable for me. All right. I guess while I turn on my equipment, there are the temperatures I expect to use. I don't expect to use the Pico pencil in this for this job, but you never know if there is a pull pad or something, or if he did enough damage to the port where there's a pull pad, then we'll have to run jumpers, and in that case I will use the Pico pencil. But hopefully not. Not a big deal. So we don't have the concern of docking with a Switch Lite, which is nice. Okay, switch you back. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to flood it with low melt, like we always do, and go from there. Okay, looks like a good pull. No pull pads. Very good. Alright, no bridges, so I want to go ahead and do some testing while we have the port off, just to make sure we do not have additional issues around the M92T36 and the BQ24193. Okay, let's find ourselves a ground for our red probe and measure around the M92. I guess I'd make sure you're in view. There is no Pi 13 USB, or Pi 3 USB, sorry, on this unit. It does not dock. Oh, I better make sure we're actually connected so that you can follow along. We're checking so what I want to check on this chip is let's see if I can get you a little more focused. So these lines that are coming from the capacitors, if they have only one line, you do not want that line to be short. If they have two lines, one of them will, like this one of them will inevitably be ground. But anything else, you do not want to be short of the ground. So this one will be ground. That side right there is ground. Okay, everything looks good there. Let's take a look at our BQ24193. This one has two right here, so one on the side will be ground. You really only need to measure the side that goes to the chip. Okay, everything seems fine, so I'm relatively optimistic that we don't have any other problems. So we will begin cleanup. And we'll put on another port. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to have to modify a regular switch port. Let me grab one real quick. Okay, so we're going to have to modify this regular switch port to fit a Switch Lite. And the way we do that is we have to cut it down. As you can see, this one does not have it's not as long as or as extended. This lip that's on the regular switch port does not exist on the Lite, and it will not fit into the housing at full size, or if it does, it will stick out. So we're going to have to grind that down to about the same size as this one. So I'm going to set up for that, and we'll be back. Okay, that looks reasonably close. We'll go with that. Okay. Prep the port. Okay, so I'm thinking about trying something different today. Thinking about heating from below and trying the place method. I don't really want to do that on normal switches. I like my method on normal switches, but the issue with the Switch Lite is all this plastic around the port. So I just want to try a different method. I may or may not keep going with it, but okay. We'll do a more thorough cleanup here shortly, but I just want to do a quick test. Make sure we're getting something that looks like normal behavior. It was not overly what I was expecting. Alright, we'll just have to see what we see. Anyway, I'm going to clean off more off screen so I can use my air compressor, and then we'll be back. Okay, a little addendum. I randomly off camera I decided to test again with the PSU, and this time I put pressure on the port, and I got normal behavior when I had pressure on the port, and I didn't when I took pressure off the port. I thought I was recording. Apologies, I was not. I went ahead and reflowed it again and pressed down, and now we're getting normal behavior. So I'll show you. Well, we were getting normal behavior. You're going to make me a liar. Okay, well, I was getting normal expected behavior when I tested again without putting pressure on the port, but it's being fussy again. And I'm not sure why on this time. So, make sure I didn't burn anything. Yeah, I haven't burned anything. I think I'm gonna give it one more reflow. Alright, let's try another test. Of course, this could just be arguing with my PSU too. Alright, that's more like normal. I'm going to flip it around. And that's more like normal. Alright, hopefully it doesn't revert back to not working again. Anyway, I'm going to clean it up off screen and we'll come back with the test. Okay, we're assembled enough to test, I do believe. Switch you to this scene so you can watch along and we will see how we did. No, gotta turn on the power supply. Alright, there's a battery symbol. That's all we're going to know for a little bit. I don't have a spare battery to try in this one, and I don't really want to mess with my squid. So we're just going to sit here and let it charge, and enough to power up, and then we'll come back. Oh, actually, real quick, before I do that, let's switch it to the other side. Make sure we're charging both sides. And indeed we are. Good. Okay, what I'll probably do is go ahead and just reassemble then. I'm going to reassemble and then we'll let it charge and then we'll come back. Okay, after much struggle trying to get this casing back together, we're back up and running. I really don't like the Switch Lite's casings. One little thing is off and they just... it's a real pain in the butt. But as you can see, we're back up and running, we're charging, we're fast charging at 1.15 amps. We'll flip it around. And it wants to be comfy right now. There we go. Again, back at 1.15 amps. And that's really all I had to show you. So, in summary, we had this Nintendo Switch Lite broken port, really jammed up port with a bunch of bent pins. We had to pull the port, test the board. There was nothing additional wrong with the board that we could find. We replaced the port using a little bit, experimenting with a different method. I'm not sure about it yet. We'll try it a few more times and decide how to go about it, if I like it. The nice thing about coming above, even though you have to protect it, is I don't have to have it hanging off the bench, and that causes some complications that I don't like. But the nice part about doing it off the bench is I don't have to protect the connectors. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a method I like for these. If you have any questions about the equipment I use in this video, take a look in the description below. If you like this if you like the video, do me a favor and hit the like button on your way out. It helps the channel. If you have any questions, post it down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button, maybe the notification bell. I usually post about 2 videos a week at this point, and you'll know when I upload them. And that's really all I have to ask you. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.